Look like?
Yeah, I mean,
everything goes into the same bank account. Yeah. All of our salaries just go into the same bank account.
And what about when you guys go out? Who pays for what?
it all comes out of the same account, so we split the funding, yeah.
So this might be a little spicy, but do you guys have separate accounts at all?
No.
Not really, no.
No.
So you share everything?
Yeah.
And how does it go when you want to purchase something new or big, or how do you guys work that out?
I mean, defining big, I guess we talk about it.
We do. We have a conversation about like, hey, is this something that we need, or is this something like that you have desperately been wanting? And then we kind of just have the conversation of like, is it worth coming into our lives?
How about when you guys were dating? Who was paying for like dates and vacations and stuff?
I think we split it.
Half, yeah.
Yeah.
What is the real cost of love to you? Like, what is it? Can you give it a number? Maybe like a yearly allowance for love.
Be cheesy and just say priceless.
Is that what you want to go for?
Yes.
All right. The cost of love is priceless, guys.
I think it was Jules or was it Zavi that sent me this video. I think a couple of people actually did. About this couple that I think they're in Washington, D.C. They're interviewed by a black woman, right? And she was asking them about how they do their finances. And she asked, well, who makes the majority of money? And they looked at each other and said, well, it doesn't matter. It's because we put it all in one account and we share everything. So it doesn't matter. It's a joint account. And then she said, well, when you go out, who pays for anything? And they looked at each other. And I said, well, it comes out of the same money, so it doesn't matter who pays for what because it's the same money. So when we go out to eat, I don't care whose card it's on or what card it's on. It doesn't matter because it comes out of the same pool of money. There is no his money or my money. It's our money. And then she looked at him. She said, okay, when you were dating, who paid? And they kind of quizzically looked at each other and looked at her and said, well, it's been 50-50. Who paid didn't matter. And finally, the big question was, okay, if somebody wants something, somebody wants to make a purchase, who pays for it, who wins? And they quaintly talked about it. They looked at each other and said, if we talk about it and we evaluate it, and if it's something that we need or really want, then we'll get it. If not, they don't worry about it. And so the last question he asked was, so what's the price of love? And they said it was priceless. You can't put a dollar figure on it. You can't put a yearly figure on what love costs. And that is the way it should be. That is what we call the old covenant marriage. Both checks go into one pot, into one pool, and we're both good stewards of each other's money. Supposedly, and that's one thing that black women used to say when they stayed at home and their husbands went out to work and they were stay-at-home wife. And the first thing they were upfront about it, they said our husbands work so hard for what they get and they bring it home. And the last thing they want to do is dishonor their husband by screwing up the money. Their job is to be a good steward of his money in his house. Their job is to make themselves and him content with their life. Marriage was never supposed to be aspirational. Marriage was never supposed to be this conflicting thing. Marriage was supposed to make you content. Happily married people, when you actually see them and see their routines, they're not dancing on the ceiling or going out and partying or going out to eat every 5 minutes or something like that and trying to live their best life. They're content. And I think the reason that black women aren't married is because they're not content. They want a man, they want a man's help, but they don't want to be content. They don't want it to be give and take. In fact, I was watching another woman's video. I think she sounded like she was Haitian or African. I don't know which one it was because she had an accent. But she sounded like she was Haitian. And she said she was talking to the white ladies when she was younger in her office. And the white lady asked her, does she do dishes? And she said, yes. And she said, why? It's because she doesn't like the way her husband does dishes. It's because he dries his dishes a certain way and it irritates her. And then she realized from that conversation that her not being content kept her from being happy in her marriage. So she decided, instead of being happy or happy with the way that her husband did anything, instead of letting it irritate her, she just let him do it. If he washed dishes and the dishes were dried in a certain manner and the dishes got washed and put away, that's the job that she didn't have to do. If he decided to fold clothes and he didn't fold clothes the way she wanted, if she was content that the clothes got washed, dried, and put away, it's one less job that she had to do. One less thing she had to worry about. As long as the job got done and the family was functioning, she was content. And I think that's a lot of reasons that black women aren't married is because they don't want to be content. They want their way. They want the opportunity to be happy, or the possibility to be happy, even though they never reach it. They give up being content on the possibility that they may be happy or temporarily happy. What do they say? Perfect is the enemy of good. Perfect is the enemy of the good. Instead of being just good at what you're doing and have a good marriage, they want a perfect marriage. And they find reasons to be unhappy or discontent in their marriage, which is why they irritate their husbands. And then once they irritate the husband, then they decide that they're not happy in their marriage anymore. And then they leave him and then go look for the next guy so they can make miserable. And the next guy sees them coming and decides to dodge them. That's why they never remarry. And sometimes never marry in the first place. That's why I never married. Black women are not satisfied with being content. Marriage is supposed to be stable. Marriage is not supposed to be exciting. You want excitement, go out there and sell drugs, okay? Go out with your Glock on the street and go out and scam people or hustle people. That's exciting. It'll keep your adrenaline pumping. Put you in danger, might put you in jail for a while, which is an excitement in itself, because you're in danger most of the time when you're in prison. Marriage is supposed to be stable, not for you, but for your children and your family. It's supposed to be stable. It's supposed to be a routine, which women get tired of, and they only get tired of it because they blame you for it. Even though they don't realize you don't like the routine any better than they do. The thing is, it's a necessary trade-off for your children and for the stability of your family, which is why black women make lousy wives. They used to make decent wives, but now they make lousy wives. And now the white women are following in their footsteps, which white men are not tolerating, which I think that's why white women start to pull back the other way and start becoming dread wives and keeping their mouth shut and actually being content. I think there was a song way back when I was a kid, called I've Never Been to Me. And there was a line that said, hey lady, cursing at your life. You're a discontented mother and a regimented wife. I have no doubt that you dream about some things that you'll never do. But I wish someone had talked to me the way I'm going to talk to you. I may put that song up, okay? Because it's exactly what's going on now. They're regimented in their eyes and they're discontented, which is why their families don't work, which is why their lives don't work, which is why their marriages don't work. And all they can do is blame the men for not entertaining them in their marriage. When the man barely has time to sleep. I know what I'm talking about because I've been there. Chick, I just pulled 11 hours a day for 6 days. I'm dead tired. The last thing I want to do is try to entertain you. I barely want to entertain you and talk to you because I got just worked 66 hours, then 70 hours, and I got 2 small kids that I have to feed and look after. And all I need is some rest and some food. I ain't got time to play with you. I ain't got time to entertain you. I ain't got time to take you out. The energy is not there. My job is to keep the family stable and keep the ball rolling. Anyhow, that's all I got for this one. Be just out, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.